I'm really glad to be here and have a possibility because of University Oslo gave it me, because of Nobel Peace Prize work for that, and because of Embassy of Ukraine really proactively organized even, looks like quite tour to different region of Norway. And that's why I want to just not only describe our work in Ukraine about documenting of war crime and exactly bringing the justice to hold the people who are suffering from war crimes, crimes against humanity, crimes of genocide, but to share some my thoughts after tour in 3 different regions of Norway. It's quite difficult being here in sunny Norway because I'm really lucky in this way, all the 4 days that was sunny, to understand how exactly people live now in Ukraine. From one side, it's quite easily than here, because in Ukraine you have only 2 opportunities, or rockets coming into your head and you just die, or you are working for victory. It's not only because we believe that we will be successful, because we don't have other choice. Like my colleague Anton Korinich told about that long history, our struggle between Russian and Ukrainian vision of future. It's not about, it's not separate people because of ethnic, religion, language, or other characteristic. It's separation between people who believe that they can be responsible for their lives, for their states. That's called democracy. It's not only rights, it's exactly responsibilities. And people who believe only in one way how we can live together, have some kind of leader of side who exactly will make some decision for us and need make, I don't know, some ideas of how to solve conflict between us or something like this. So it's 2 big differences. And 2 big differences called, if it's democracy, it's called Ukraine. If it's about be just a part of big country which exactly using their own resource, taxpayers, and exactly people for aggressive empire spreading, it's called Russia. Now, I really hope that in the future, if we help exactly healthy part of Russian society, like Memorial, my colleagues, will be majority, we have possibility to see other Russia. And it's, first of all, will be their responsibility. But now Ukrainians are responsible for our choice. Choice of democracy, rule of law, really human dignity, respecting area. We are only in the way, but only this area exactly afraid of Putin. Because in democracy, Putin will not have any power. Because in democracy, when Putin told you need go and make a war, nobody will come. Because it's not only one person exactly doing the war crimes, which I have a possibility to show you. Center for Civil Liberties started documented war crimes in 2014. That was personally my first project, like human rights defenders. Before that, I working in the bank. In same situation like now, mostly people who fighting for exactly frontline in Ukraine, it's teachers, IT specialists, some of them owners of businesses, some of them exactly, I don't know, belly dancer. We have really great lose one of the talented belly dancer who exactly go into army and die there. So it's ordinary people. And when we started documented war crimes in 2014, we see all the kinds of war crimes in Donbass and Crimea. And we're trying to scream for all the world that it will not stop. They will produce more if we will not give the justice for that. If we will not tell that it's not a norma have this in Europe or everywhere in the world. Because before Ukraine, before Donbass and Crimea, That was Georgia, Chechnya, Syria, Mali, Moldova. That's smaller country than Ukraine, less population, not so digitalized. That's why we don't see what they do in there. That's why only human rights defenders, like memorials, documented war crimes in to Chechen war. And that's why we don't have such big wave of support, because we don't see. Now in Ukrainian, you can't say that you don't see these 33,000 of war crimes. Because human rights defenders, together with General Prosecutor Office, together with International Criminal Court investigation team, exactly documented war crimes, crimes against humanity, crimes of genocide, day by day. It's look like exactly, I'm just trying to show you how it can be look like for you. We create such website, which exactly each of you can go in and look how many cases we have now. And again, we are not General Prosecutor Office, so we don't have all this access. So it's just the possibility of 32 human rights defender organizations who cover whole the territory of Ukraine. So why we do that? Because it gives us opportunity to show that it's not a change of one soldier made the war crimes. It's a war crimes which happen whole the territory of Ukraine. So inside the Ukraine, you don't have safety place, maybe in metro, only one version. So if you come somewhere, or if you're trying to find the place where your children can just graduate from school and you need 4 years or something like this, now in Ukraine you don't have it. So all of these cases, it's potential war crimes, crimes against humanity and genocide. Why potential? Because we exactly respect the possibility, finally call this like a crimes for courts. And all of this showing that every time when we have a successful liberation of some such place like Kherson or my native Nikolaev, here, it's my native town, Mykolaiv. And here, Kherson, where do you see this part upper? It's now liberate. And what does it mean, occupation? That not means you just change the flag. That means that every day in the non-liberate part, this one down, war crimes happen. Every day people raped, killed, kidnapped, forcibly illegally detained, or forcibly replaced. Like one of the example here, Oleshki sons, it's only one desert exactly in Europe, we have them in Ukraine. And here exists Oleshki children's house, it's orphan house with children with disability. My university supports this children's house more than 10 years. And exactly from there, children called me and told that Crimean doctors come to our place and will take us somewhere, we don't know where. So all of these children need to special caring. Some of them have relatives because special caring can be provided with relatives, but they exactly teach in there. 13 children were taken from there and put in Crimea, exactly in psychiatrical hospital. They told, we don't have other place. Why you exactly take the children? Where you decided to do that? So it's one of example how we worked. At the occupied territory, we're working with grassroots initiatives. We're working with the people who live there or people who escaped from there. So we collect all the information about potential war crimes, crimes against humanity, and crimes of genocide. That show exactly before that you can find here, for example, hospitals. You know that one of the most protectable exactly objects in international humanitarian law, it's medicine objects. It's happened everywhere. So it's not a question that only one soldier, officer, or one troop decided that it's a good idea, take a hospital like a military object or exactly strike it. No, they do that systematically. That means this decision which was made upper in army and made even maybe upper in Putin's head. So when we speak about justice, it's first of all prosecute Putin and whole his management system around of him. We calculate it's near to 20% who exactly need to answer to their decision started war in 2014. That's called crime of aggression. For that, we need special tribunal, because like Anton Karenich told about that, we don't have any other international mechanism which cover it. But all other 1,000 cases, that means it will be long and big challenge for Ukraine, and that's why we need to support from you. First of all of this, it's a result that previous crime was not exactly punished. I speak not about previous crime of Russia Federation, but Russia Federation used like a best model, best practice, Soviet Union times. Not once Putin told about that Soviet Union times are the best examples, and Stalin, one of the best manager. But what exactly doing Stalin and what Putin trying to repeat now? Stalin deported Crimean Tatarians from Ukraine to the Central Asia, and 15% of this population dying during this exactly so-called deportation. And they don't have a possibility comes back to their native land more than 80 years. Stalin exactly creates such understanding like artificial hungering, which we call Golodomor. What that means, that was a tools how to take all the grain which Ukrainians, first of all, providing, like producing, growing in our lands, and sell it, change for industrial technology or something like this. But main idea that Ukrainians not resist, because we have this history of the resisting more than 300 years. So everywhere where in Soviet Union live exactly Ukrainians, artificial hunger was created specially by decision of Stalin. And still Putin used Stalin names like one of the best managers' names. So it's give opportunity Putin exactly providing new, like magnetic, I don't know, like hypnotic speech, and whole the population, 140 million Russians, mostly believe him. That is good practice what Stalin do. So now when they told about anti-nationalization of Ukraine, they told it's like same like Stalin do. So that's why it's so important such kind of good news for Ukrainians who now inside the Ukraine really touchable when from other country we see some kind of support. Such discussion like today, some cultural like historical events when we recognize some connection between Norway and Ukraine, or some really important for us politician decision like recognize of Golodomor, or support creating of separate international tribunal against the crime of aggression. Thank you.